Hey, Molly, how does my tie look? Is it tied neat?
Just as neat as the day it left the factory. Now, please zip the back of my dress.
Okay.
Ah, there is a really wonderful invention. The zipper.
Yep, except that it ruined a good old popular song.
What song?
Oh, you remember, the Hook and Eye song? Hook and I depend upon to hook me up the back. It was written about the same time as Molly is as jolly as can be.
Oh, I don't remember that one.
It was never published. I couldn't sell it.
Oh. Say, look, McGee, hadn't you better make a reservation at the Cuba Libre?
Say, maybe I better have it that. Give me the phone, will you, please?
No.
Huh?
All you'll get is mirth. Let's take a chance on the reservation.
Okay, but if we don't... Who's that?
It's Mrs. Uppington.
Well, let the old duffel bag in.
Come in. Hello, Abigail.
How do you do, Mrs. McGee? And Mr. McGee.
Hi, Uppy.
My dear, you look simply lovely in that dinner dress.
Oh, thank you.
And Mr. McGee, you're looking very well.
We're going out night clubbing tonight, Abigail. McGee's going to show me how to rumba.
Really? Why, Mr. McGee, I had no idea that you were such a devotee of Pepsicory.
Oh, let's play that last hand again, Uppy. I think I missed a trick.
She said she didn't know you were such a hound for hoping, honey.
Oh. Yeah, I'm really there when it comes to manipulating the moccasins, Uppy. It's kind of a gift, I guess. Didn't you hear what those people said about me at your party?
Why, no, I don't recall, Miss McGee.
Well, it was when I was dancing with that cute little girl with the white cap.
McGee,
Huh?
that was the maid who was serving the buffet. I tried to tell you.
I thought she was awful hard to lead past the sideboard.
But you know, Mr. McGee, when you dance with me, I thought you had rather a peculiar style of dancing, that sort of bouncing up and down, you know.
Oh, that helped. It was a cold night, Uppy, and I was giving you a hot towel. Don't you get it, girls? Hot towel, hot toddy?
Ain't funny, McGee.
Definitely not.
Okay, if you want to gang up on me. How about going along with us tonight, Uppy? We're going to let our hair down and play tunes on the water glasses with our forks and everything.
Oh, thank you, Mr. McGee. It's too sweet of you to ask me, but I really don't.
Oh, now, come on, Abigail. We don't go out very often, and we'll have lots of fun. And you really haven't lived if you've never heard McGee kid a waiter.
Oh, my dear, you're really telling me, but I have to run home and dress.
Oh, go ahead, Uppy. We'll wait.
You run along now.
Oh, this is so exciting. You're sure I won't be intruding?
Oh, quit being so coy, Uppy. Look, I'll tell you what I'll do. If you come with us, I'll dance every other dance with you.
Now,
Every other day. Oh, I'm so sorry. I just remembered I have a previous engagement. Now, isn't that horrible? Thank you anyway. Do have a lovely time. Goodbye.
Sure changed her mind in a hurry, didn't she? You don't suppose she expected me to dance every dance with her, do you?
no, I don't think so. But I'm sorry she couldn't go. And she always looks so nice when she's dressed up. Don't you think so?
No, I don't.
Don't you think she's rather attractive?
Depends on circumstances. She's a knockout in a blackout, but a fright in the light. If she don't want to go, it's her loss, not mine.
How do you figure that?
Well, I could have given her a lot of pointers on dancing style. For instance, she holds her arm up like this, you know, stiff, instead of pumping it up and down. No action, no finesse.
Yes.
Besides, when she holds it...
Yes, I know. But hadn't we better get started, dearie?
Oh, no hurry. Hardly anybody goes to nightclubs before 6:30 or 7. Get there around 7:15 and shows you know your way around.
You certainly keep up with things, don't you?
Yeah. Just in case to keep my eyes shut and my wallet open. Well.
Oh, dear. Come in. Oh, hello, Mayor Latrivia.
How do you do, Mr. McGee? Hello, McGee.
Hi, sir.
I came to present you with $10 worth of dispenser stamps.
Oh, what for, Mr. Mayor?
The trivia. You don't mean...
Yes, I mean you...
Look, the trivia. When somebody says you don't mean, you got to take a dramatic pause. Don't you ever listen to the radio?
I'm sorry. Let's do it again. I came to present you with $10 worth of dispenser stamps, McGee.
You don't mean...
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes. The slogan you sent in is the one we are using in our local campaign.
Well, heavenly days, I didn't know you sent him a slogan, McGee. What was it?
Oh, it was nothing that any red-blooded American boy couldn't have done. Well, I'm glad you like it, though, Latrivia.
It was the best of the lot, McGee, by far.
How many did you get?
Well, to be frank, Mrs. McGee, it was the only one sent in. Here, McGee, $10 worth of stamps and the gratitude of the Willful Vista Committee for Defense.
Well, what was the slogan, Mr. Mayor?
It was little
Let me tell you. I can get more feeling into it. It said, if you expect to rate as an American, do it on the back of a defense stamp. No lick 'em, stick 'em, no lick 'em, quick 'em. Yeah. You like it, Molly?
Not much, to be frank.
I didn't take enough dramatic pause.
You missed something. But I'm glad you won the prize, dearie.
Well, at least it shows he's been thinking in the right direction, Mrs. McGee. Now, I won't keep you any longer. I see you're dressed to go out.
Yeah, we're going to go out to a jive dive and trip the light bomb back.
Splendid, splendid. Have a good time. You look very charming, Mrs. McGee. And you, McGee, well, that green tuxedo is that something new?
It ain't green, Latrivia. Just looks green in a certain light.
I see. Such as daylight and electric light. Well, enjoy yourself. Good night.
What do you mean, daylight and electric light? What other kind of light is there?
Gas light.
Well, who uses gas light?
Well, I'll bet the tailor who made that tuxedo did. But don't worry about it, dearie. You know, it doesn't really look so bad.
Of course it doesn't. It's the only one in town with 7 buttons on each sleeve, too. I guess I know it's nothing.
Hello, folks. Going someplace?
Hello, Mr. Wilcox. Yes, we're stepping out tonight.
Going to hit a few hot spots, Harlow.
We're going dancing. Why don't you come with us, Mr. Wilcox?
Yeah, come on, Harlow. Oh, what if you're not dressed up like us? We can pretend we don't know each other.
Well, thanks, no, folks. I just stopped in to use your phone, if I may.
Sure, Harlow. Sure, help us out. You got a nickel?
McGee. We haven't got a nickel phone.
Does he know that? Go ahead, Harlow. Who are you going to call?
Racine, Wisconsin.
Hey, what's the idea? That'll cost $5 or $6.
McGee, what of it?
Huh?
Stop setting those buffalo. Go ahead, Mr. Wilcox.
Fibber, just let me know when you get this charge on your bill, and I'll send you a check. Hello, operator. Give me long distance to Oh, is that you, Clara? How's every little thing, Clara?
Where'd you get that?
It is, eh? What's that, Clara? Your brother? Hanging over a what? Oh, just hanging over.
Much better than that, murder.
How about a line through to Racine, Wisconsin, Clara? It's C. Johnson and Son Incorporated, station to station. What? Lines all tied up? Okay, I'll try later. Thanks, Clara. Well, I can't get through now, folks.
Was it something important, Mr. Wilcox?
Oh, not particularly. I always like to call them around this time of year and give them a general report, is all.
Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt this broadcast to bring you a message, which, if we didn't bring it to you, we wouldn't have any broadcast to stop and bring you a message in. Report on what, Harlow?
Sales and service of Johnson's self-polishing clothes.
How are sales, Mr. Wilcox?
Booming, Molly, and why not? Every day, more housewives are turning their linoleum defense program over to Gloco.
Nice topical touch, sister.
Well, you know the order of the day is economy, Fibber. Make the old things last longer. And linoleum really does last longer and stays more beautiful, with Gloco protecting it from dust and dirt and dampness and wear, and gives housewives more time for Red Cross work and other projects. These days, anything that saves time and money and labor and conserves property is going to be a pretty valuable item. Why, when you stop to think that... Oh, but what am I telling you folks for? You know the story.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, thanks for the offer of the telephone.
Not at all, Mr. Wilcox, but say, why didn't you use the phone at your office?
I couldn't.
No phone?
No audience. Thanks, folks. Have fun.
How do you like that?
You know what? I think he likes an audience, so he can take a bow. And when he takes a bow, he can sneak a peek at the floor. There's that.
Well, what say we get going, Molly?
Just as soon as I fix my face here and get my gloves and bag.
Okay, and while you're doing that, I'll get my shoes on. Come in.
Hi, mister.
Oh, hi, little girl. Haven't got much time to talk to you now.
Why?
Now, because I got ants in my arches, and I'm going to take Mommy out for a little kim-sham-kimmy, a touch of floy-floy, and boop-the-dooper with Cooper. I'm a wild-eyed wampus from the waving woogie, and this is my night to heave a hit.
Maybe I better come back later, huh?
Oh, don't run away, sis. I was just kidding. Mrs. McGee and I are going to go someplace and dance, that's all.
Well, gee, why didn't you say so, huh?
It in 12 different ways. You just ain't in the groove. You like to dance?
Well, you mean like round the maypole like we do at school, hmm?
I don't know, sis. I can't say I'm much of a maypole man myself. I was referring more to the popular aspect of the dance. You know, the waltz and rumba and foxtrot and all stuff like that there.
I can turn a somersault, I bet you.
Fascinating. I might add that to my repertoire, only I don't think it would get me anywhere socially.
I'll teach you for a nickel.
No, I don't think so, sis. Maybe sometime later.
Maybe I won't be in the mood later and it'll cost you a dime.
Just the same, I think I'll retain what little dignity I got left. On the other hand, I might teach you how to foxtrot. I'm the guy to come to if you need somebody to give you a hand with your feet.
Thanks, mister. I bet you're a peachy dancer, I bet you.
I'm the best, sis. I've been dancing since I was hip-high to a cymbal crash.
Oh.
Why, when I was just a little twerp, people would come from miles around to see me hook.
Oh.
Why, my footwork just slew 'em. Slewfoot McGee, I was known as. Slewfoot McGee, the swinging and swaying, solid sending sensation of the shagging and stomping sport. But speaking of sensations, sis, I'm going to cut this short.
The King's Men sing Zanazaranda. Listen, mister, here's a girl who can't be beat, and you'll blister in the glow of her tropical heat. She'll have you all at sea. Zanazaranda, Zanazaranda, the hottest tamale in all of the Panama land. The gentlemen love her, and the ladies get catty. Her tropical jiving is driving the populace batty. Zanazaranda, Zanazaranda, the dangerous dolly who's ever so much in demand. A little bit naughty, just a little bit shocky. This hot chili peppery stepper has Panama Rocky. When she gives you the eye, you will have to say bye-bye. Adios to the others, you know. Zanazaranda, Zanazaranda. She'll sing in your parlor, your kitchen, or on your veranda. She is so grand, let's give her a hand. This international professional standard. She's swell, Zanazaranda, queen of the Panama land. How she can drive you with a tropical jive, you really know you're alive, my little man. Take a beautiful, beautiful Zanazaranda. This North American, South American, Central American, all American,
Doing those corn someday. In the store. What's a fucking cutting wheel?
Hey, this is quite a joint, isn't it, Molly?
Certainly is. So I resent spending $3 a plate for a
No
steak
telling
and a
what
great
the
day
last
with
thing I
bury
was
and forget.
cutting is.
You didn't use enough ketchup.
Hey, listen. I thought you wanted to dance so badly, and they played 4 dances since we've been in here, and we haven't danced yet.
Oh, I know. I thought we better eat first. Hey, waiter.
Yeah?
I'd like some dessert.
Me too. You got any pie, bud?
What kind you want?
What kind you got?
We ain't got any.
Oh, that includes the kind I wanted. Got any camembert?
My name ain't Bird, it's Chauncey. And we're all out of camem.
Well, say, how about a chocolate parfait?
Oh, I found one.
How about you, chum?
Well, I don't know, Chauncey. Bring me a cup of coffee and I'll think it over.
If you think it over carefully, chum, you won't drink it. I'll be right back.
Now listen, the orchestra's getting ready to play again, McGee. Shall we dance?
No, let's eat this one out. We can dance later.
But, dearie, all evening you...
Hello there, kid. Oh, hi, old-timer. Glad to see you.
Hello, Mr. Oldtimer. Won't you sit down with us for a while?
No, thanks,
Just
kid.
mineral
Come over and say
oil.
hello while Miguel went out to fix your face. So between us, I think it's
too late.
You don't seem to be much infatuated with her, old-timer.
Johnny, when I brought her here tonight, I had it bad. Thought she was the sweetest kid on earth. Full of glamour. Pretty as a picture. Had my heart thumping like the door of a boarding house bathroom.
Well, then what happened?
She started eating spaghetti, daughter. That did it. Murder.
Didn't she know how to wind it up in a spoon,
I
old-timer?
tried to tell her, Johnny, but she says she's been doing so much knitting lately, she couldn't stand the sight of it all wound up like that. So I guess it's all over between me and Mert. Yeah, the telephone operator I met at a New Year's party. Just a hello girl that I'm saying goodbye to. Her sister Clara's working for her tonight. Why?
No, nothing. You sure you won't sit down with us for a while, Mr. Oldtimer?
No, thanks, kid. Gotta leave pretty quick. Hey, what time is it?
About 11:45.
What? Good crazy, I gotta get out of here. This dress suit is only rented till 12 o'clock. See you later, folks.
Now, wait a minute. How about your girl?
Tell her Cinderella had to leave the ball, kid.
Oh, now look, McGee. The band is going to start playing again. Let's dance.
No. Let's not.
But McGee, that's why we came out tonight, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but geez,
Heavenly days. All afternoon and evening you've been bragging about what a killer diller you were as a dancer. Now I can't get you out of your chair.
Well, how can I dance with my hands in my pockets?
Well, take them out of your pocket, silly.
I can't.
Why not?
Well, you know those suspenders I was looking for?
Yeah?
Well, I didn't find them.
Both of you ladies spend a good deal of time in your kitchens, and I certainly don't blame you for wanting them as cheerful and as pleasant to work in as possible, especially during these rather dark days of winter. Have you ever stopped to think how important your linoleum floors are in that picture? If they're bright and cheerful, clean and sparkling, the whole room is pleasant and inviting. Now, you know what I'm coming to. I want every woman who isn't already using Johnson's self-polishing glow coat to try it just once. I know what the result will be. Not only one more booster for glow coat, but one more kitchen floor easier to care for, with hours of work saved in the bargain. Glow coat is a wonderful product. It gives floors lasting luster. It wears smoothly and evenly because the glow coat film is flexible, not brittle. It's labor-saving, needs no rubbing or buffing whatever. Dries in 20 minutes. And glow coat is economical because a little goes such a long way. Also, glow coat makes linoleum last much longer. But wherever you buy it, be sure you get the real thing. The one and only Johnson self-polishing glow coat in the familiar red and yellow package.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've heard that great war cry of ours, keep 'em flying. It's a great slogan. For our part, in our small way, we think an equally valuable phrase is keep 'em smiling. That's our job on these shows, and don't think we take it lightly. But there's another thing just as important as keeping 'em flying and keeping 'em smiling, and that's keep 'em warm, keep 'em fed, and keep 'em healthy, which is a job that's pretty much up to the Red Cross. And the Red Cross can't do without us, individually and collectively, mostly collectively, if you know what I mean.
So we beg you again to dig down deep and give what you can to the Red Cross. A beacon that shines out all over the world to the weak and the wounded and the weary.
Good night.
Good night, all.
This is Harlow Wilcox, speaking for the makers of Johnson's Wax Finishes for Home and Industry, inviting you all to be with us again next Tuesday night. Good night.
Let's admit that in winter it's harder to keep your car looking its best.
But let's be thankful for a polish like Johnson's Car New that actually cleans and polishes in one application. 2 jobs at once in half the time they used to take. Really, you'll be amazed how quickly you can give your car its original showroom shine with this sensational polish. And remember, right now is the time to start taking better care of your automobile to make it last a longer time. Car New is made by the makers of Johnson's Wax. Ask your dealer for Johnson's Car New, spelled C-A-R-N-U. This is the National Broadcasting Company.
The Johnson Wax Program with Fibber McGee and Molly.
Oh, shit. I almost went to the dump.
The makers of Johnson's Wax and
Oops.
Johnson's Self-Polishing Glow Coat
Took a
present
deep
Fibber
look
McGee and
there.
Molly, written by Don Quinn, with songs by the King's Men and music by
Probably
Billy Mills.
yeah.
The show opens with Who Knows? When you left your kitchen a while ago, did you happen to notice your linoleum floor covering? Have you taken as good care of it as you should? It should be regularly protected with a coat of Johnson's Self-Polishing Glow Coat. The no-rubbing floor polish that not only saves the linoleum, but also saves you hours and hours of work. The next time you use Glow Coat, I want you to notice several things carefully. First, how easy it is to apply. You simply spread it around and let it dry, that's all. Second, notice how little it takes to do your floor. Yes, Glow Coat is economical because a little goes a long way. Third, notice how even and smooth the Glow Coat finish is. No streaks or tiny bumps. And no chipping because Glow Coat film is a flexible, not a brittle film. And fourth, notice how long the Glow Coat luster lasts. If you watch for these points carefully, you will realize there's only one Johnson's Glow Coat, and that it always pays to insist on this finest no-rubbing polish in the familiar red and yellow package. Well, as the peacock said, we have quite a tale to unfold, so we won't waste any time. It's 79 Wistful Vista, and here at breakfast we find Fibber McGee and Molly.
Pour me another cup of Java, will you, Molly? Thanks.
Say, I never saw you drink so much coffee. And don't use so much sugar. You're overweight as it is, you know.
Yeah, I found that out yesterday.
How?
Well, a cop took a look at my tummy and followed me all over town. Thought I was bootlegging tires. I was so...
McGee, watch what you're doing.
What you mean? What am I doing?
Why, you put a slice of toast in your pocket and you're buttering the back of your hand.
Oh. Well, I'm kind of nervous this morning, Molly. I'm upset.
Well, I've noticed that. You're as wiggly as an octopus in a washing machine. What's the matter with you, dearie?
I had a terrible nightmare. Anyway, I hope it was a nightmare.
You hope?
Yeah. Oh, it was awful. You see, oh, gee, I hate to tell you about
Oh,
this.
come on, and stop that worrying. Heavenly days, you're getting circles under your circles.
Well, I dreamt that last night I got up and dressed, walked over to Mrs. Uppington's house, and heaved a big rock through the big front window.
Oh?
Never had a more realistic dream in my life.
Oh, well, nevertheless, it must have been a dream. Why, you wouldn't do a thing like that.
No? Well, then how come my shoes were all wet this morning?
Well, they're still damp from when you shoveled the snow off the porch last night.
Oh, maybe. I wonder.
Sure.
Oh, that must be it. Sure. Oh, boy, that nightmare was really a lulu. Hand me the paper, will you, Molly? Thanks.
Hey, McGee, whose picture's that on the back page? Looks familiar from here.
Where? Oh, hey, it's Mrs. Uppington.
Oh, let's see.
Look, she's... Oh, my gosh, Molly. Look. Get a load of that headline.
Well, stop shaking. Hold still. How can I read it?
It says, Midnight Hoodlum smashed window at Uppington Mansion. Police throwing out dragnet. Oh,
I knew it. I knew that couldn't have been just a dream.
Now, take it easy, dearie. It should still be just a coincidence.
Yeah, but...
Why, you're not the type of man to prowl around in the middle of the night and heave rocks through people's windows like a common criminal, and I hope nobody saw you do it.
You won't tell anybody, will you?
How can I? I'm your wife.
Huh?
And a wife can't testify against your husband.
She can't?
No, that's the law. Who's at the door?
That's the law, too. Bake me a cake with a hacksaw in it, Molly. Come and see me on Visitor's Day.
Oh, now stop worrying. When you get out, they always give you $10 and a new suit. And you need a new suit.
Okay, let him in, Molly. I'll go quietly.
Come in.
Hello there, kids. Am I interrupting your breakfast?
Oh, good morning, Mr. Oldtimer. You don't know how glad we are to see you.
Yeah. Sit down and have a cup of coffee, old-timer. Get out the good china and the real linen napkins, Molly.
Oh, no, thanks, kids. Sure appreciate the warm welcome, but I just stopped by to see if these gloves belong to Johnny. Got his initials on them.
Why, yes, those are his, Mr. Oldtimer, aren't they, McGee?
Yeah, they're mine, all right. I knew him on account of the third finger on the left one is gone. I tore it off trying to get a nickel back out of a pay telephone. Almost lost my finger, too. Well, thanks very much, old-timer.
Forget it, Johnny. No reward offered for him, I suppose.
Reward for a pair of $1.98 gloves that wouldn't bring a dirty look at a rummage sale?
Anyway, that ain't the right attitude, old-timer. You mustn't do things just for the sake of a reward. You got to do things because it's the decent thing to do. Weren't you ever a Boy Scout?
No, they wouldn't take me, Johnny.
Why not?
Well, where I lived as a kid, daughter, they only had the Eagle troop, and I didn't have the beak for it.
Well, thanks for returning the gloves, old-timer.
Yes, indeed. Incidentally, where did you find them?
Hey? Oh, found them in a snowdrift in front of that Uppington girl's house, daughter. I was, smatter, kids.
Say, McGee, hadn't you better reconsider that reward business? After all, you'd really hate to lose them where they were lost, wouldn't you?
Huh? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'd say so. It's worth a lot to me to get those gloves back, old-timer. I really love those kids. Here's $5 for your trouble.
Much obliged, kids.
Much obliged to you. Oh, and look, I'd appreciate it if you didn't say anything about this to anybody. I'd hate to have people think I was so careless as to leave my gloves all over town. You know how it is.
Sure.
Yes, McGee has very sensitive hands, and when his hands get cold, they get red, and he hates to get caught red-handed.
Yeah.
Well, so long, Johnny, and don't worry about a thing. I ain't seen the morning paper.
McGee, you know.
Yeah.
But you paid him to keep quiet.
Yeah, but that's just it. One crime leads to another. Now I got bribery on my list. Who knows where this will wind up? I might go from window smashing and bribery to blackmail and robbery. Maybe forgery. I'm getting desperate. Hand me that knife.
Why, what are you going to do?
I'm going to spread me another slice of toast and think this over.
Oh, now, McGee, stop brooding. Maybe you broke Mrs. Uppington's window last night, and maybe you didn't.
Yeah, maybe I heard the window break while half asleep and just dreamed the rest of it.
Sure.
Her house isn't far from here, you know.
Only a stone's throw, in fact. No. I didn't mean that, dearie. I just meant that... Now, McGee, you must get over turning tail every time the doorbell rings.
Yeah, you're right, Molly. The worst that could happen is a cop coming for me. And who's afraid of a cop?
That's the way to talk. Come in.
Good morning, madam. I'm Officer Frink of the burglary squad.
Well, how do you do, I'm sure. And this is my husband, too. Well, he was here a moment ago. McGee?
Well, never mind, madam. I just wanted to ask you a couple of questions.
Why, certainly, officer.
Were you at home last night?
Yes, we were. And I can prove it because we were listening to the radio.
Well, how would that prove it?
Well, because since my husband fixed the radio, nobody knows how to work it but us. So if somebody was listening to our radio, who else could it be?
Very logical. Did you hear any disturbance last night?
No, why?
Well, I'm investigating a window smashing job in the neighborhood, and we traced some footprints from that house right over there to your front steps.
Oh. Animal or human?
It was a man. I thought he might have broken one of your windows, too.
Well, he better not let me catch him at it, or No, officer, no. He didn't break any of our windows here.
Well, okay. I'm sorry to have disturbed you. He must have come over here and then got frightened.
Oh, I'm sure he is. Or was. But now if I hear of it...
Wait a minute. Who's that under the Davenport?
That must be my husband. I'd know those feet under any Davenport, or under any circumstance. McGee, come out, dearie. There's a man here to see you.
Oh. Hi, Bud. What can I do for you?
What were you doing under the Davenport?
Huh? Doctor's orders, Bud.
Your doctor told you to crawl under the Davenport?
Why, of course he did. Tell him what the doctor said, McGee, if you can remember.
Sure I remember. I remember it just like it was yesterday.
It was yesterday.
Yeah, that's why I remember it. You see, Bud, the doc told me that I was getting a little heavy, and I said, am I, Doc? I said, is it dangerous? Well, he says, no. As long as you can crawl under the Davenport, you'll be all right. So every day about this time, just to check up, I crawl under the Davenport.
Okay, but you'd better lock your doors at night. There seems to be prowlers in the neighborhood.
Thanks for the warning, Bud.
That's all right.
That was a close one, Molly.
Oh, dear.
Oh, you know, it kind of haunts me, the idea that I might have walked in my sleep and slung a door nick at Uppy's big bay window.
Don't be silly. Listen, I'm convinced you were dreaming the whole thing, McGee.
Yeah, but why should I dream about breaking windows? I never dream stuff like that. I always dream I'm running down the railroad track without any clothes on.
Maid?
McGee, come away from that Davenport.
You think the hall closet will be better?
You stay right here. Come in. Oh, good morning, Mr. Mayor.
Good morning, Mrs. McGee. Hello, McGee. Did you hear about Mrs. Uppington's window being broken last night?
Yes, we read about it in the paper, Mr. Mayor. And a funny thing about that, McGee threw...
I did not.
Quiet, dearie. I was going to say that McGee through the whole morning has been puzzled by the affair.
Hey, you used to be a lawyer before you were mayor, didn't you, Latrivia?
Oh, yes, indeed. I was a junior partner in Abernathy, Cronkite, Massey, Witherspoon, Smythe, Witherspoon, and Latrivia.
Your clients must have had to kneel down to read your name on the door.
Say, that partner of yours, Mr. Massey, was pretty famous, wasn't he?
Oh, not very, I'm afraid.
Why, of course he was. Everybody's heard of the laws of Massey.
Yes. But why did you ask, McGee?
Well, I wondered if you'd give me a little legal advice.
Oh, why, certainly, McGee, certainly. Having trouble with the finance company again?
No. Yes, but look. How about this window smashing thing? What if the guy that did it was walking in his sleep at the time? Could he be held responsible?
What's so funny about that?
Oh, I was just thinking, what a rosy time you'd have convincing a judge that you were asleep. Well, I've got to meet the DA over at Mrs. Uppington's. Good day. Walking in your sleep, indeed.
What do you mean, convincing a judge that I was asleep? You think he knows it was me?
How could he know when you don't even know? Say, listen, where's that dream book we used to have?
I don't know.
We could look up breaking windows and see what it signifies.
I don't know where it is, and all I remember is that dreaming about cut glass means you'll be admired for your brilliance.
Well, that doesn't fit this case.
No.
But say now, maybe a broken window could be considered cut glass if it was hit with a real sharp stone. Was it a sharp one you used?
Oh, no, it was just as smooth and round. I never know such a thing. You're just trying to trap me into saying that.
Hello, folks. Say, did you hear what happened over at Uppington?
Yes, we did, Mr. Wilcox. Can you imagine anybody sneaking up in the dead of night and breaking her windows?
Yeah. Who'd ever dream of such a thing?
I didn't say anything.
How did you hear about it, Mr. Wilcox?
I was just over there taking pictures.
Taking pictures for the police, you mean?
No. For advertising.
Why advertise a broken window? Is there much demand for that sort of thing, Mr. Wilcox?
No, look, I was taking pictures of her front home. After that big rock came through the window, the wind and snow started blowing all over the floor.
Yes, but why did you?
But the floor was inlaid linoleum and protected with Johnson's self-polishing glow coats, and the snow didn't do a bit of harm. So I took some pictures to send to the home office.
Oh, maybe this one does creak a little, folks, but you got no idea what a trick it is to work these things in every week. Yes, Mr. Wilcox?
Well, that's all, but that hallway of Mrs. Uppington's is really beautiful with that handsome, gleaming linoleum on the floor. And she says it's really amazing this winter weather how footprints wipe right up and how easy it is to keep it protected with glow coat.
Yes, but with a house full of hell.
Oh, she does it all herself. She says glow coat is so little work and so much fun to use, she won't let anybody else do it. You know, no rubbing, no buffing, and it only takes about 20 minutes. And then when this hoodlum heaves a rock through the window.
Who's a hoodlum?
Anybody who would throw rocks at Johnson's self-polishing glow coat.
I'll say they are. Ought to be hung. They ought to be... Have they got any suspicions who done it?
Yes, they have. All the evidence points definitely to a chauffeur Mrs. Uppington discharged last month.
Oh, what's the clue to him?
Well, when she let him go, he got sore and said he'd come back and break every window in the house.
He did, eh? Well, I guess that lets me, I guess that lets me think he's the guy, all right.
Yeah, the only trouble is they looked for this chap and found out that he'd been in San Francisco for 3 weeks and couldn't have done it. Well, I'll see you later.
Every time I think I'm out of it, I get deeper. Molly, tell me frankly, do you think I did it?
Do you?
Yes.
So do I.
Well, that isn't being very loyal to your husband, suspecting him of doing stuff like that there.
But you think so yourself.
Oh, sure, but you know me. Always wrong. My suspicions don't count because of...
Oh, dear. Shall I let them in, McGee?
Go ahead. I don't hear any bloodhounds.
Come in. Mrs. Uppington.
How do you do, my dear? And Miss McGee.
Hi, Effie. Won't you come in and break a window, or have a chair?
No, thank you. I suppose you heard about the ghastly incident of last night?
Yes, we did, Abigail, and I'm so sorry it happened.
Thank you. I should like to speak to you about it, Miss McGee.
You can't prove it.
I should say not. What if his shoes were wet? What if his gloves were
Oh,
foul?
please, I don't know what you're talking about. I wish to engage Mr. McGee's services to track down the culprit.
Who, me?
Yes, I've heard some amazing stories of your cleverness as a detective and of your courage and tenacity.
Where did you ever hear any stories like that, Abigail?
From Mr. McGee. Well, will you take the case?
Effie, I'm the very man you're looking for.
He certainly is.
Oh, thank you so much. I shall be expecting
Now,
you.
just a minute there, Abigail. Could this rock have been thrown by the wheel of some passing automobile?
I hardly think so.
How come? Why not?
Because, Mr. McGee, an automobile wheel would hardly have attached a note to the rock reading, "This for you, Uppy." Come right over, won't you?
singing The Old Man of the Mountain.
High in the mountains where the lightning flashes. High in the mountains where the thunder crashes. There's a character old and gray. He must be 90 if he's a day. Every year he comes out to see what the world's about. With his long white beard and a crooked staff, he tramps along while the people laugh. With a twinkle in his eyes, he passes them by. The old man of the mountain. He wears long hair and his feet are bare. They say he's mad as an old March hare, but his troubles are none. He owes no one. The old man of the mountain. He talks with the birds when he's lonely. He sleeps with the stars for a tent. The bees rather feed when he's hungry, and he never has to pay any rent. Not a cent. He'll live as long as the old oak tree. He'll laugh at folks like you and me. Oh, I often sigh and wish that I were the old man of the mountain. Oh, the rain may fall and the wind may blow. He laughs at the wind and the ice and the snow. With a twinkle in his eye, with his shirt terrifying, he's the old man of the mountain. Old man of the mountain, the mountain. Everybody thought he was balmy when he stole a cannon from the army. Everybody thought he was frail till he dragged the cannon up the trail. Now on a clear day you can see him there, sitting on the mountain with his long white hair. Oh, the Japs won't linger if they ever lay a finger on the old man of the mountain.
So, this is the window that the rock was thrown through. Hey, Mrs. Uppington?
Yes, Mr. McGee. That was a shrewd deduction, McGee.
That's it.
Seeing that it's the only broken window in the house.
Huh? Oh, yeah. Uppy, I want you to answer this question honestly. Now, this is important.
You found a clue, Mr. McGee?
I think so. Mrs. Uppington, did anybody ever want to poison you?
What a horrible thought. I certainly hope not. Why, McGee?
Look through this magnifying glass at the windowsill. You see that? Ground glass.
Well, of course it's ground glass. The window was broken.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I thought I had something there for a minute. Now, let me see. What would Basil Rathbone do if he had a case like this?
He'd be too smart to have a case like this. Good heavens. What's that?
It was a kind of a thumping noise.
No.
Yes, it was. In detective work, you got to learn to distinguish between thumping, rapping, pounding, and thumping.
Mr. McGee, that sound is right in this room. Why don't you do something?
I am doing something. Can't you see I got my hands over my ears? Now, let's see. If that rock was thrown through the window in this direction,
McGee.
it would have gone...
There's somebody inside that window seat. Listen.
Oh, there is that. It may be the criminal we're looking for.
Pretend you have a gun, Mr. McGee. Tell him to come out or you'll shoot.
I got a better idea. I'll tell him to stay in there or I'll shoot. Then I'll run out and get a cop while you girls sit on the seat and hold him.
I'm going to see who's in there. Come on, Abigail. Come on, McGee.
You go ahead. I'll stand over here by the door, ready to leap in and carry the bar and start anything.
Very well. I'm passing cash on the window seat, Mr. McGee. That's it. All right. Come out of there, whoever you are.
Oh, hello, folks.
Mr. Wimple.
I'll tell you.
My goodness, I'm glad you let me out of there. Did you ever spend 2 hours with your face inside an old overshoe with an umbrella up your trouser leg?
Why, please, Mr. Wimple.
Aha! So it was you, Wimple. Just as I suspected when I heard your voice.
Well, Philo Vance is back on the job. Would it be rude of me, Mr. Wimple, to ask what you were doing in that window seat?
Yes, explain yourself, Wimple. I'm in charge of this case.
Oh, it's really very simple. I was walking past here this morning when I saw all the police in here, and I walked in, too, to see what was going on, and I sat down on the edge of the window seat, and a big, fat policeman bumped into me, and I fell in, and the cover fell down, and there I was with my ears full of mothballs, trying to pick the lock with a banana I had in my pocket.
Cheers, up at night.
A likely story, Wimple.
I don't know. It sounds reasonable enough to me, McGee.
Oh, just a poor man. After this, I should leave a few sandwiches in that window seat in case it ever happens again.
Well, he don't get out of this that easy. Wimple, where were you between the hours of last night?
Oh, sweetie face would just kill me if I told you that, Mr. McGee.
Well, what's your wife got to do with it, Mr. Wimple?
I was out with her until 4 o'clock this morning.
Aha, now we're getting someplace. Okay, Wimple, take your choice. Tell us or tell the police. What were you doing?
Well, you know how it is. Trying to buy certain household goods these days, and while we knew it was a little illegal.
Never mind the excuses. What were you doing?
Well, if you must know, Nosy, Sweetie Face had to see a smuggler about a new hot water bottle.
And you don't know who is responsible for my broken window then, Mr. Wimple.
Oh, no, Mrs. Uppington, I really don't.
Well, I do.
You do, McGee?
I finally got it figured out. And believe me, it's going to surprise you.
Oh, please, Mr. McGee, I can't stand the suspense. Who did it?
Are you sure you want to tell, McGee?
Yes, I do. This thing has gone far enough. I can't stand it any longer myself. Happy?
Yes?
The person who busted your window is...
And that, ladies and gentlemen, concludes tonight's episode of the strange and baffling case of the pulverized pane. Who was it that screamed? Who fired those shots? Who is guilty? Tune in again next week at this same time for the final installment of this thrilling epic of crime and high adventure. Ahead, when all of us will be called upon to put forth an extra effort, we certainly don't want to add unnecessary work in the home. And yet it's imperative to take extra good care of the things we have. I'm glad it's part of my job to tell you about the many uses for Johnson's wax. For instance, just try wax polishing your tabletops, windowsills, Venetian blinds, and leather goods with Johnson's wax, the same wax you use on your floors. Notice first how beautiful these wax surfaces are. In the weeks to come, notice how much easier your daily cleaning has become. The coat of wax acts as a shield against dust, dirt, and wear. Fingerprints and smudges are quickly wiped away. Home economics authorities call the regular use of Johnson's wax protective housekeeping. It will pay you to adopt it in your home. Ask for the original, genuine Johnson's wax, available in paste, liquid, or cream wax form.
Ladies and gentlemen, we live in a land where a gag is something to laugh at. But we're now being threatened by international gangsters to whom the word gag means just one thing, the throttling of free speech. And we've got to fight them with everything we have, with our time, work, and money. So we ask you again, for the land's sake, buy defense bonds.
Yes, and for mercy's sake, support the Red Cross.
Good night.
Good night, all.
This is Harlow Wilcox, speaking for the makers of Johnson's Wax Finishes for Home and Industry, inviting you all to be with us again next Tuesday night. Good night.
We're all talking about taking better care of our automobiles to make them last. But what are you doing about it? Have you cleaned and polished your car lately? No? Well, then try this. Give your car a simple treatment with Car New, the sensational auto polish that both cleans and polishes in one application. 2 jobs at once in quick time. Car New is inexpensive, easy to use. Ask your regular Johnson's Wax dealer, auto supply store, or service station for Johnson's Car New, spelled C-A-R-N-U. This is the National Broadcasting Company.
The Johnson Wax Program with Fibber McGee and Molly. The makers of Johnson's Wax and Johnson's Self-Polishing Glow Coat present Fibber McGee and Molly, written by Don Quinn, with songs by the King's Men and music by Billy Mills. The show opens with Be Young Again. Ladies and gentlemen, we should like to read a letter addressed to Mr. H.F. Johnson, Jr., President of S.C. Johnson & Son, Incorporated, from the Treasury Department. Quote, Dear Mr. Johnson, the Treasury Department would like you to pass on to the employees and to the management of S.C. Johnson & Son, Incorporated, its appreciation for their wonderful cooperation with the Treasury Department's Payroll Defense Savings Plan. And a very special honorable mention of the fact that 82 6/10% of your home office and factory people already own defense bonds. If all job holders in this country put a small percent of their earnings into defense bonds through a payroll defense savings plan, then the Treasury Department will be successful in its efforts to finance our national defense through defense savings. The dollars and quarters of your payroll defense savings funds are providing guns for our Army, warships for our Navy, airplanes for our Air Corps, weapons that aid the fight for freedom everywhere. And defense savings funds do even more than this. Every person who subscribes gains a steady growing nest egg of savings. Once again, thanks to the employees of S.C. Johnson & Son, Incorporated, one of the many great concerns which are cooperating splendidly with the Treasury Department's Payroll Defense Savings Plan and entire defense savings effort. Sincerely, Harold N. Graves, Assistant to the Secretary. Unquote. And all of us on the Fibber McGee and Molly Show are happy to subscribe to this plan also. Who threw the rock through Mrs. Uppington's window? That is a mystery which bids fair to go down in history with those other immortal enigmas, such as where did the swallows go from Capistrano? And who threw the extraneous matter into Mrs. Murphy's chowder? And here at 79 Wistful Vista, still discussing the matter, we find Fibber McGee and Molly.
No, Molly, I'm not sure whether I threw that rock through Uppy's window or whether I just dreamed it.
Well, how are you ever going to find out?
Oh, I finally figured out a way. And you know what I'm going to do, Molly?
What?
I'm going to reenact my dream.
Oh, how on earth can you reenact a dream?
Well,
I never had two of them alike myself.
Mm-hmm.
Though there was one about Gary Cooper that I wish I could... But never mind that. Explain yourself.
Look, remember the night I had the dream about busting Uppy's window?
How could I forget it? I haven't seen such turmoil since you sat on the bear trap down at the hardware store.
Well, I asked myself, what caused me to dream like that there? And I answered myself, it must have been something I ate. Then I asked myself, if I ate the same thing again, would I dream the same thing? And I answered myself,
Oh, look, dearie, look. I hate to break in on your one-man asket basket. But do you remember what you ate that night?
Sure I do. Every bite.
You tell me now, fix you the same supper now.
Okay. Before dinner, I snagged 3 olives and a slice of ham out of the refrigerator.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and a glass of grape juice and an apple. Then when you sent me over to the store for the extra 2 pork chops, I dropped into Kramer's drugstore for some cigars. I had a pineapple soda.
I'm surprised there's a window left in the neighborhood. Proceed.
And then on the way home to dinner...
On the way home to dinner.
Yeah. On the way home, I had a candy bar. Just a little one. Then for dinner, we had pork chops, mashed potatoes, green beans, biscuits and honey, upside-down cake, and coffee.
Well, heavenly days, if I have to prepare all that, I better get started here.
Okay, Molly. Now, let me see. After dinner, I listened to Lum and Abner on the radio, because I sent them a card saying program coming in fine, and I wanted to see if they'd read my name over the air. Then I lit a cigar, and I sat here. Come in.
Hi, Lester.
Oh, hi, sis. Don't bother me now. I'm reconstructing a dream. I says I'm busy. Don't bother me. What you want?
Hey, somebody threw a rock from Mrs. Uppington's window. Did you know that?
Did you have some sly purpose in asking me that, sis?
Well, no. I was just wondering who could have done it or all, mister.
Oh.
Mrs. Uppington told my daddy if she ever found out who did it, she was going to arrest him for delicious mischief.
For what?
Delicious mischief.
You mean malicious.
Hmm?
It's malicious, not delicious.
Why?
Well, because it was an act of malice. You know what malice is?
Sure I do, I bet you. I got a Christmas present from her.
From who?
From Alice.
Hopefully it's not in the Navy or Puddle.
She's my cousin. A great big beautiful doll, too.
Oh, she is, huh? I said she is, eh?
No, she did.
Let me see if I can look at
Okay. Let's get back to Mrs. Uppington's window.
Oh, gee. And peek in, too?
I mean, let's discuss the matter further. You got any idea who could have done it?
Have you?
I asked you first.
Willie Toops owns a slingshot.
Oh, he does, eh?
Yeah.
Well, now we're getting someplace. So Willie Troops has got a slingshot, has he?
No.
Huh? You said Willie has got a slingshot, and then you said he hasn't.
No, mister, no. He owns one, but he hasn't got it. He loaned it to somebody.
Aha. Well, we're still hot on the trail. Who did he loan it to?
You.
Me?
Sure he did, I bet you.
Huh?
Last summer when you said that cat was keeping you awake all night, remember?
Oh, my gosh. That's right. He did.
Yeah. Willie and I talked it all over, and we thought people might think you did it if they knew you had Willie's slingshot. And I said, well, gee, Willie, I said, we mustn't tell on Mr. McGee because he's always been so nice to us, and he's always given us 50 cents for a soda.
50 cents?
Well, you know how it is with the water, mister, everything going up. And Willie said, gee, when I have a soda, I forget everything I ever knew, he said. And I said...
Okay, sis. It's blackmail, but I'll pay. Here's $1. Split it with Willie, the little gangster.
Gee, mister, thank you. Oh, boy, a whole $1. Boy, will Willie be happy when I tell him.
Well, run on home and tell him then.
Oh, I won't have to go clear home, mister.
Huh?
He's waiting outside.
Oh.
Hey, Willie, it worked. So long, mister.
That was a good dinner. Now, before I go to bed, Molly, I want the same pajamas I wore that other time. I think I wore my purple ones, didn't I?
Yes, I believe so. I remember that because you lost the string out of the pants and were using a piece of rope for a belt.
Oh, the string wasn't lost, exactly. I was using it to patch the clothesline in the backyard. It was 3 feet too short.
And why?
Yeah, I know. It was my fault. I cut a little hunk of the clothesline to tie around that old trunk in the attic.
Yeah, what became the strap off the trunk?
Well, I was using that in the dining room window because the cord was missing off the sashway.
Well, what happened to the cord off the sashway?
I don't know what happened to much. Oh, my gosh. That's the cord I was wearing to use to hold up my pajamas.
Oh, say, McGee, I almost forgot to tell you. The first thing tomorrow, I've got to run downtown and do some shopping for Mrs. Uppington.
Oh.
She's so upset over this window-breaking affair, she hasn't had any time to shop at all.
Okay, I'll stay here and keep an eye on things. What do you got to get her?
A turtle.
A turtle?
A turtle.
What does she want a turtle for?
Well, search me. Maybe it's a playmate for her Pekingese. But anyway, it's none of our business why she wants it.
Imagine a woman her age wanting a turtle for a pet? Why, that old fox was old.
Oh, dear. Come in. Oh, Mrs. Uppington, come in, Abigail.
Oh, thank you, my dear. Good evening, Mr. McGee.
Hi, Uppy. Got a new pane in your bay window?
Oh, no. I feel perfectly splendid, Mrs. Oh, my window. Oh, yes, that's all repaired. Oh, but I wanted to thank you, Mrs. McGee, for offering to do my shopping tomorrow.
Oh, nothing at all. I'll be glad to do it, Abigail.
Oh, by the way, may I use your telephone, Mrs. McGee?
Why, certainly, dearie. Right there in the hall. Go right ahead.
Oh, thank you.
Even walks like a turtle.
Hello, operator. The downtown department store, please. Downtown? Miss Madget in the lingerie, please. Hello, Miss Madget? Mrs. Uppington speaking. Yes. Mrs. Uppington. Mrs. McGee is coming in tomorrow to pick up a girdle for me. You know my size. Yes. No. Just a girdle. Thank you. Goodbye. Mr. McGee, you just ask for Miss Madget, and she'll charge it to my account.
Well, now, you needn't have gone to all that trouble. I could have paid cash. You know, they only cost about 35 cents for the little ones.
Oh, you flatterer. But I do want to get a new one, my dear, because I hear they're going to be difficult to get.
Ah, that's a lot of malarkey, Uppy. I could go out in the country tomorrow and get you a dozen, all shapes and sizes.
Really? And how do you know so much about such matters, Mr. McGee?
Well, he used to have one when he was a little boy, didn't he?
Sure, I had one. Had my initials carved on the back of it, too.
Ah, why, how silly. I always had mine embroidered.
Oh, not really. Well, doesn't it hurt them, Abigail?
On the contrary, my dear, I believe it reinforces them.
It does, eh? None of them I ever saw needed much reinforcement. They're tough little devils.
Yes, they are quite durable with proper treatment. Oh, do you understand the type I want, Mrs. McGee?
Well, I think so.
You want one that snaps, Uppy?
McGee, I think they all do that.
Yeah, I guess they do. And they say once they get a hold of you, they don't let go till it thunders.
I don't believe I quite understand.
You know, McGee says when he had his, it just used to tickle him like everything when it started creeping up on him.
Yeah, they're persistent little cusses.
Really, Mr. McGee, wasn't that sort of a strange thing for a boy to own?
Oh, no, us kids had them, Uppy. Used to race with them.
How shocking.
Yeah. I finally had to get rid of mine, though, Uppy. Got too big.
Besides, it bit his grandmother.
It did his grandmother.
Yeah. Oh, but it was self-defense, Uppy. She pulled his leg.
Yes, and I think you are pulling mine. Never mind, Mrs. McGee. I shall get it myself. Goodbye.
What's she getting so ritzy-snitsy about?
Well, I don't know, but it's all right with me. Let her buy her own turtle if she wants one so bad. But I'd better run upstairs and see if your purple pajamas are back in the laundry.
Yeah, and look, Molly.
Yes?
Let's not discuss the dream at all from now on. I want to keep my mind clear and unaffected.
That's very sensible.
Yeah.
The less it's discussed, the less influence it'll have over your sleeping
That's
tonight.
right.
You know, they say...
Hey, Fibber, I just came from the police station, and the cops have heard that you had some kind of a weird dream that night about walking over to Uppington's and heaving a rock through the window.
We don't want to discuss anything like that, Mr. Wilcox. Let's talk about something else.
Yes, but the police...
Let's discuss Johnson's self-polishing glow coat, Harlow. The product that goes on the shelf of every self-respecting household. The genuine...
Wait a minute, Fibber. The police...
Now, getting back to glow coat, Harlow, think of how it protects linoleum against wear and dirt, and how it saves hours and hours of housekeeping. Keep the neighbors from making cracks about the cracks in your linoleum by using Johnson's self-polishing glow coat. The no rubbing, no buffing.
Darn it, let me talk, will you? The police think that in view of the dream you had, that
Don't forget that it dries to a lovely glistening finish in 20 minutes or less, dearie.
I'll say it does. Just pour a little out, spread it around, go near the shelter blanket for 20 minutes or less, and what have you got? The kind of a kitchen floor you dream about.
Why, say, what is this? Quit changing the subject, will you?
Who's changing the subject? We want to talk about glow coat.
Why, certainly. We love glow coat.
Yeah.
In addition to its other wonderful properties, it keeps us off the streets on Tuesday nights.
It's a marvelous product. Why do you suppose millions of housewives all over the world...
Oh, all right.
Nice going, McGee.
Yeah, I sure got him off the subject, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
So the police think I did it, eh? Well, let them try and prove it. By George,
I just wanted to tell you, Fibber, the police are convinced you didn't have anything to do with it.
Huh?
What?
They remember you played first base against the police softball team last summer, and they know you couldn't hit a 6-foot window from 30 feet away even if you were awake.
They think I can't throw straight, do they? Get your hat, Molly.
Why? Where are you going?
I'm going down to the police station, stand across the street, and heave a brick through their window. I'll show them.
Oh, no. Control yourself. Take it easy, McGee. Don't you see what they're doing?
What you mean?
They want you to prove you can do it. Then they'll have you. It's a trap.
Oh, my gosh. And I nearly fell for it. Gee, thanks, Molly.
That's all right, dearie. That's what a wife is for. Oh, dear. Come in.
Good evening, Mrs. McGee. Hello, McGee.
Mayor Latrivia, good evening.
Hi, Latrice. Want to see me about something?
No, McGee. I wanted to see Uncle Dennis for a moment. Is he in?
I don't know. Is Uncle Dennis in, Molly?
I don't think so, Mr. Mayor. I think he's out buying a motorcycle.
A motorcycle?
Yes, anyway, he said he had to see a man about a sidecar.
Yeah, he gets all worn out walking. He was so tired last night when he came home, he went upstairs on his hands and knees. And even then, he was so weary, he didn't know his own room when he got to it. He butted the door open with his head and says, "Does this train stop at St. Louis?"
Oh, yes, I know. Great fellow, Uncle Dennis. I saw him the other day walking down the street waving a pair of tweezers.
Tweezers?
Yes, he said he was going to get a hair of the dog that bit him. But if he isn't at home, I shall have to see him some other time.
Hey, Latrice, they know he hasn't threw the rock through Uppington's window?
The police are still working on it, McGee. That's one thing I wish to see Uncle Dennis about.
Heavenly days, you don't suspect him.
My men are working on a clue. It seems that late that night he went into
Yeah, we know. Yeah, he always does.
Exactly. And he asked the proprietor for a rock and ride. They didn't have rock and ride, so he just took a ride. We're checking up to see if he found a rock anywhere. But don't tell him I'm inquiring. Good night.
Poor Uncle Dennis.
What do you mean, poor Uncle Dennis? He brings it all on himself. Why, that guy has beckoned to more men in white than Dr. Kildare. Wow. Now, oh, yeah, my purple pajamas.
I'll run right up and get them, dearie. Now, you lock the door.
The King's Men sing Lydia.
Lydia, oh, have you seen Lydia? Oh, Lydia, the tattoo lady. She has eyes that folks adore so, and the torso even more so. Lydia, that encyclopedia. Oh, Lydia, the queen of tattoo. On her back is the Battle of Waterloo. Beside it, the wreck of the Hesperus too. And never a billboard obstructing the view when you take a look at Lydia. She will show you a view of the world of tattoo if you step up and tell. For a dime you can see Kankakee or Paris or Washington crossing the Delaware. La 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 la. Here is Buffalo Bill with his lasso. Here's a little plastic financial Picasso. Here's the Jim here in the rumba. Here's her social security number. La 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 la. Oh, Lydia, oh, have you seen Lydia? Oh, Lydia, the tattooed lady. Here's a leaning tower of Pisa and the smile of Mona Lisa. Lydia, Lydia, have you seen Lydia? Oh, Lydia, the queen of them all. For a quarter, she'll dance a mazurka in jazz with a portrait exhibit that no gallery has. And on a clear day, you can see Alcatraz. Step over here and see Lydia, the queen of tattoo, tattoo, tattoo.
Molly, are you sure these are the same purple pajamas I wore that other night?
They are. Did you lock the back door?
Yeah. Did you wind the clock?
Yes. Did you put out the milk bottle?
Yeah. Did you empty the ashtrays?
Yes. Did you go out to the car and count the tires?
Yeah.
Well, I guess we're all ready for bed then. I certainly hope that...
Oh, for the love of Mike. Hand me my bathrobe, Molly. I'll go see who that is.
I'm presentable, McGee. I'll go.
No, we'll both go. I don't like you to be going to the door alone at this time of night. Might be a telegraph boy.
Well... What harm would there be in that?
You always tip me too much. 15 cents is plenty. Okay. We're coming.
Oh, Mr. Wimple.
Oh, hi, Wimp.
Oh, I'm sorry to bother you folks. Really, I had no idea you went to bed this early.
We don't ordinarily, Mr. Wimple, but Buck McGee has a nightmare he wants to ride again. Won't you come in?
No, thank you, Mrs. McGee. I was just sort of lonesome tonight, and I thought I'd see if Mr. McGee wanted to play a few games of Flint. Or maybe Parcheesi.
Gee, I'm sorry, Wimple. Some other night, maybe. And let's make it tiddlywinks. I get too excited playing Parcheesi.
How come you're so lonesome tonight, Mr. Wimple? Isn't your wife at home?
Yes, but she doesn't like to play Parcheesi, and anyway, she was taking a bath and got her toe caught in the drain pipe. Oh, by the way, have you got a pipe wrench, Mr. McGee?
Oh, I haven't, Wimple. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's all right. I didn't think you would have. In fact, I'm asking all the unlikely people first.
Say, isn't your wife going to be angry if you take too long getting her loose, Mr. Wimple?
Probably, Mrs. McGee. But I don't get a chance to get out like this very often, you know. Sweetie Face is so jealous. Though, goodness knows, I never even looked at another woman since we were married. Tell me, are they still wearing Hobo skirts?
You're a card, Wimp. Hey, is your wife still teaching wrestling and jiu-jitsu to the police force?
Oh, yes. She takes her police work very seriously, Mr. McGee. Too seriously, I sometimes think.
Too seriously, Mr. Wimple?
Yes. I told her it was ridiculous to have a siren on the front of her vacuum cleaner.
And what did she say?
Oh, she just gave me one of those mischievous little smiles and kicked my feet out from under me. Sometimes I think she doesn't know her own strength. And then again, sometimes I think she does.
You certainly
must have a wonderful constitution, Mr. Whipple.
Yes, I have, Mr. McGee. The only trouble is, I'm always having to go to the doctor and the dentist for some amendments. Say, do you think Mrs. Uppington might have a pipe wrench?
Oh, I doubt it, Wimple.
Oh, fine. I think I'll go over there next. Good night.
Oh, poor Mr. Wimple. You know what he needs is a personal defense program.
Oh, well, that's hit the hay. If I'm going anywhere in my sleep, I want to get to bed before my pajamas get all wrinkled.
Well, wait till I lock the door again, dearie.
Okay, come on.
You know, I'm kind of sleepy myself, McGee. I hope I don't have your nightmare.
Won't do you any good. You can't sew straight.
McGee, what on earth are you going to do with that rope?
I'm going to tie one end to the bedpost and the other end to my ankle.
But what on
Then if I do start walking in my sleep, I won't get far. Hey, wouldn't it be awful if I dragged this bed clear over in front of Uppington?
Don't worry, it wouldn't go through the door. Now get in bed.
Okay.
Well, shall I wish you sweet dreams, dearie, or not?
No, I'm on my own now. Good night.
Good night. Is that rope all right before I turn the light out?
It's okay. It gives me a nice feeling of security. Good night.
Good night.
It's kind of silly because they say good night at the end of every show.
Boy, that's the best night's sleep I've had for... Ouch! Oh, my gosh, that rope. Hey, I'm still tied to the bed. I haven't been anywhere. Hey, Molly! Molly!
Oh, it's probably just a burglar, dearie. Go back to sleep.
Hey, Molly, wake up. It's morning. I got great news.
What on earth are you shouting about at this hour of the morning?
Look, the rope. I'm still tied up. I didn't walk in my sleep. I'm innocent. I'm in the clear. Oh, aren't you happy about it? Aren't you glad? What's the matter?
I was just wondering, dearie.
Huh?
You weren't wearing that hat when you went to bed.
Today, North and South American countries are working together to promote closer cultural and commercial relations. It is clear that the more we can use each other's products, the better off we will all be. For many years, an important ingredient of Johnson's wax has been the vegetable wax carnauba, which comes from Brazil. It is, in fact, one of that country's principal exports. Carnauba wax is important to Brazil's economy, and it helps us produce a better wax polish for the protection of your floors, furniture, and woodwork. The carnauba is skillfully blended with other waxes to give you a wax polish that is easy to use, one that adds rich beauty to all finishes, and enables you now to protect and take better care of the things you have. There are over 100 protective uses for this wax polish in your home. You can buy genuine Johnson's wax in 3 forms, paste, liquid, and in the new cream wax.
Ladies and gentlemen, on January 30th, President Roosevelt will celebrate his Diamond Jubilee birthday. 130 million loyal Americans have an opportunity to tell the President we're behind him by joining in a cause that is close to his heart, the fight against infantile paralysis.
Yes, let's all give as many dimes and dollars as we possibly can in our local campaign.
And let the President know that he has every man, woman, and child in the nation on his side. Good night.
Good night, all.
This is Harlow Wilcox, speaking for the makers of Johnson's Wax Finishes for home and industry, inviting you all to be with us again next Tuesday night. Good night.
I can't tell you how you can get new tires for your car, but I can tell you the easy way to take care of the paint job and keep it new looking. Just give it an occasional treatment with Johnson's Car New, the sensational auto polish that both cleans and polishes in one application, 2 jobs in one. Car New is inexpensive, easy to use. Gives your car back its original showroom shine. Don't wait. Buy a can of Johnson's Car New this week, spelled C-A-R-N-U. This is the National Broadcasting Company.
The Johnson Wax Program with Fibber McGee and Molly. The makers of of Johnson's Wax and Johnson's Self-Polishing Glow Coats presents Fibber McGee and Molly, written by Don Quinn, with songs by the King's Men and music by Billy Mills. The show opens with Free for All. The kitchen is such an important room in the house, you can't blame a woman for wanting to make it cheerful and convenient. In the first place, it's her workroom, where she spends a good many hours. Also, it's a room where both neighbors and family like to visit. Why shouldn't it be a pleasant room with colorful curtains, convenient cabinets, and a beautiful, easy-to-keep clean floor? That, of course, is where Johnson's Glow Coat comes in. A floor that's kept sparkling with Glow Coat does wonders for your kitchen. Keeps it clean and bright with a minimum of work. And don't forget that the regular use of Johnson's Self-Polishing Glow Coat makes your linoleum last from 5 to 10 times longer. Now, you know, of course, that Glow Coat needs no rubbing or buffing. It's self-polishing. Glow Coat gives the floor lasting luster, has a flexible film that wears evenly and smoothly without chipping. And Glow Coat is economical because a little goes a long way. But for real Glow Coat results, don't be satisfied with anything but the original Johnson's Self-Polishing Glow Coat with the familiar red and yellow label. Buy some tomorrow. The worst blizzard in 76 years has hit Wistful Vista. Snow has drifted up to the second floor windows in some places, and this is one of the places, the home of Fibber McGee and Molly.
Well, it certainly is nice to stay home by a warm fire tonight, isn't it, dearie?
I'll say. Ain't a fit night out for man or Hitler.
I tell you, it must be terribly cold out.
Cold? Why, when I come home tonight, that snowman in front of Toots's was blowing on his fingers.
Say, what's the exact temperature? Stick your head out the door and see what the thermometer on the porch says.
Oh, no. I wouldn't protrude my puss out those portals tonight for all the retreads in Detroit. No, sirree.
Well, then turn on the radio. It's just time for the weather report.
Oh, say, it isn't that. I wonder just how cold it is.
Terribly.
Thanks.
Well, at least we're comfortable and warm here. You want to play a game of rummy, dearie?
No, I got a lot of stuff to do. Never have a better chance to do them, too, either.
Just what have you got to do?
Oh, I got to paste my defense stamps for my book, sort out my trout flies, write a letter to Aunt Sarah thanking her for my Christmas
He
present.
didn't send you any Christmas presents.
Well, I'm in a sarcastic mood.
Well, I'm glad you're going to be busy, McGee. Maybe I can finish knitting this
This what?
I wish I knew. I'm not much of a knitter yet.
Now you're a swell needle pointer.
I know, but the Army has some silly objections to needlepoint sweaters. Now, maybe if I'd...
My gosh, there's somebody at the door.
You know, that's what I love about you, McGee. You grasp things so quickly. Well, let them in. They'll freeze to death out there.
Okay, but if it's a good humor man, he ain't using good judgment.
Good evening. I'm Mr. George Spellman. Come in. At the door. Let me get the door.
Wind goes through you like a collector from the Internal Revenue. What'd you say your name was, Bud?
Spellman, George Spellman. You're Mr. McGee?
That I am indeed. And this is my wife, Molly. Molly, Mr. Spellman.
Oh, how do you do, I'm sure.
Delighted, madam. My, it's nice and cozy in here. Don't tell me you're knitting on a tiny garment. Congratulations. When is the happy event?
Huh?
It isn't a tiny garment. It's a sweater for a soldier. And if I don't stop dropping stitches, it won't be a happy event either. Have a care, Mr. Spellbound.
Spellman, and thank you. But first, I'd better drop this overcoat in these wet over.
McGee.
Hmm?
Who is it?
I don't know. A but I wouldn't turn a dog away on a night like this. And he looks kind of like an old hound I used to have when I was... Well. Have a chair, Spelman, old man.
Thank you. Nice place you have here, Mrs. McGee.
Thank you. We like it. We have to. We own it.
Well, I imagine you'll be seeing a great deal of it for the next few days. You won't be able to get downtown to a restaurant till this storm is over.
Well, so what? Home is where the heartburn is, I always said. Did you want to see me about something, Spelman?
What? Oh, yes. Mr. McGee, I have a special message to you from the governor.
Heavenly days from the governor. Maybe you've got an appointment, dearie.
Well, it's about time. I volunteered for everything from air raid warden to mixing macaroons for Marines. What'd the governor say, Spelman?
Well, first, Mr. McGee, may I ask if you have a car?
Every time I see it, I ask myself the same thing.
Sure, I got a car, bud. Tip-top condition, too.
You're not kidding me. That top tip's under any condition.
Well, it really doesn't matter as long as it runs.
Oh, it runs. That car will do 55 in second gear, Spelman.
And 30 in high.
Oh, now, Molly, you're giving George here entirely wrong impression. You see, George, you don't mind if I call you George, do you?
Oh, not at all. Glad to have you.
Fine. You see, Spelman, before we were married, my wife used to go with a guy that owned a Stutz Bearcat, and she never got over
Never
the...
mind me, McGee.
Huh?
What did the governor say?
Yeah, what'd he say, Spelman?
Well, the fact is, McGee, it's of the utmost importance that you...
Oh, dear. Now who? You answered, McGee. I'm right in the middle of a mistake in my knitting.
Okay. Excuse me a minute, George.
Oh, certainly.
I suppose somebody wants me to tie some hot coffee around my neck and go rescue their St. Bernard.
Hello there, Johnny. Hey, can I borrow that old timer? Come on in. Open the door.
The old timer, Molly.
Okay, Johnny. Just for a minute. Hello there, Johnny. What you doing? Knitting for Britain or crocheting for the Malayan?
We can't stand that applause, can we? Oh, good evening, Mr. Oldtimer. May I introduce you to Mr. Spelman? Mr. Spelman, Hey, what is your name anyway, Mr. Oldtimer?
Hey, I don't believe I ever heard it either.
Just call me old timer, kid. Names don't matter. It's character that counts. As long as the feller's true blue, honest, straightforward, backward.
Oh, don't be so coy. What's your name?
Come on, old timer. After all, it couldn't be worse than Fibber.
Maybe not, Johnny, but I'm more sensitive than you are.
Won't you tell us?
Nope.
Just tell me.
Nope.
Whisper in my ear. I won't tell anybody.
Promise?
I promise.
Okay.
Oh, heavenly days, it couldn't be.
It is, though.
Can you imagine? Mr. Spelman, this is the old timer.
How do you do, sir?
Well, hello, son. Sorry to butt in like this, kid. Just wanted to know if I could borrow a hot poker.
A hot poker? No, I'm sorry, old timer. Our poker's busted.
What on earth did you want that for?
Oh, me and my girlfriend.
Your girlfriend?
No, my girlfriend. Francis. Oh. We're playing in the snow along the street here, diving in the snowdrift. And all of a sudden, I met Fred. Must knock yourself out in the fire hydrant or something. Anyways, he's under a drift someplace along here, and I was going to jab around with a hot poker. Oh, well, guess I can use a sharp stick. See you later, kid. Good night, Mr. Tailspin.
cup of coffee before you and McGee start talking business, Mr. Spelman?
Thanks. I believe I will. Delicious coffee, Mrs. McGee.
I'm glad you like it. I make it from a recipe I got from McGee's half-sister, Beth.
What do you mean, half-sister? She's my sister.
Not since she works for that magician and his daughter is too.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that. Just a family joke, Bill. We always kid Bessie about wanting to go on the stage.
Oh, is that so? You know, I had a younger brother always wanted to go on the stage. Finally made it, too.
Good for him.
Yes, he was out in Desert Springs, Arizona once, and he wanted to go to Dry Gulch, New Mexico, but the trains weren't running, so he went on the stage.
Well, let's get down to business, Spelman. As long as you represent the governor, suppose you tell me just exactly what he wants me to do.
Well, for goodness sake, more orphans of the storm. See who it is, McGee.
Okay, excuse me a minute, Spelman, while I see what no good this ill wind is blowing.
Oh, of course.
Hey, Molly, Uppy's here. Come on in, Uppy.
Oh, how do you do, Abigail?
May I present Mr. Spelman, Mrs. Uppington?
Oh, how do you do?
Not see Mrs. Uppington, through whose window someone threw a rock.
The very thing, Spelman, the very thing.
Will you have a cup of coffee, Abigail? You look awfully cold.
Oh, thank you, I will, my dear, and I am cold. In fact, I'm quite numb.
That's what I was telling Molly just this morning, Uppy. I says that Uppington trail is just about the same.
Said now.
Oh, hey, what are you doing out on a night like this, Uppy? This kind of weather's only good for one thing. Keep the Germans rushing back from the Russian front. You get it, folks? I says,
Ain't funny.
I thought it was rather amusing, Mrs. McGee.
oh, thanks, Bell. Have a cigar?
Oh, thanks, I have one.
You got two? Thanks.
Answering your question, Mr. McGee, I had little Phoebe out for a walk. She adores the snow, you know.
Is Phoebe your daughter, Mrs. Uppington?
Fifi is a Pekingese, Mr. Spelman.
How interesting. I'd love to meet her. Chinese girls are so intelligent, I say. I'd love to discuss the situation.
She is a dog, Spelman, and she ain't interested in the foreign situation.
As I was saying, it was so blustery and so cold outside. I was frightfully afraid of being lost in the storm. And yours was the only light I could see for simply blocked, my dear. So I struggled through the drifts and finally succeeded in forcing my way through the snow to your front door.
But where's Fifi?
Oh, I took her home first.
Well, sit down and take a load off your eye millers, Duffy. Mr. Spelman here was just about to give me a message from the governor.
As a matter of fact,
What we need is a doorman. Does anybody here know any unemployed Eskimos? Well, go see who it is, McGee.
Okay. All right. Come on in. Up the door.
oh, gee, thanks, Fibber. My hands were so cold I couldn't find the doorbell. I had to hammer with my elbow.
Haven't you got sense enough to stay home on a night like this, Harlow?
Well, my conscience was bothering me, Fibber. I just ran across a book I borrowed from you a long time ago. Here.
Oh, thanks. What is it? Oh, If Winter Comes. You sure this is mine?
Yep. I bought it in 1925. Hey, is that coffee I smell?
It is, and you do. Come on in, Harlan, before your eyebrows.
Hello, Mr. Wilcox.
How do you do, Mr. Wilcox?
Hello, Mrs. Uppington.
Harlan, this is Mr. George Spelman. Spelby, old man, this is Harlan Wilcox. Your linoleum's best friend and severest critic.
I'm glad to know you, Mr. Wilcox. Well, this is a coincidence, Mrs. Spelman. I was demonstrating Johnson's self-polishing blow coat to a Mrs. Spelman yesterday afternoon, showing her how easy it was to apply, how quickly it dried with beautiful polish, how the easier homework would take years off her life and put them on the life of the linoleum. Let me see. No, it wasn't Mrs. Spelman either. It was Mrs. Wood. No, Crawford, that was it. Mrs. Crawford. No relation, I suppose. Tall, dark woman with a mole on her arm. No, short and stout with a poodle on her lap. No relation, I guess.
Oh, speaking of poodles, Mr. Wilcox, I hated to take Mrs. Fifi out tonight.
Well, there's nothing like a dog.
There's nothing like Uppy's dog. I'll go that far.
There ain't even another dog like her dog.
Yeah, I had a dog once. Man's best friend, I always say. Just like Johnson's glow coat is a woman's best friend because it saves so much time and effort.
Heavenly days, Mr. Wilcox. Can't you forget Johnson's glow coat for 1 minute?
I don't know. I never tried. As I was saying, I had a dog once.
I did too. A part Springer Spaniel on his mother's side and the smartest dog I ever knew on his father's side. Smarter than a human being.
Oh, now, McGee.
Well, he was. Every Sunday morning he'd go out on the porch and look both ways up and down the street. Then he'd kind of shake his little head and come back in the house. Every Sunday morning for 11 years he did that. What was he looking for? We never knew. He knew, but we didn't. So he was smarter than us. I'll have another cup of coffee, too, Molly.
As I was going to say, I had a dog once.
That mud of George's is going to die of old age before he gets it into the discussion. Excuse me while I see who's at the door. Oh, hi, Trivia. At the door. Come on in.
Thanks, McGee.
Glad you dropped in, Latrivia. The conversation around here was going to the dogs. Hey, everybody, here's Mayor Latrivia.
Hello, Mayor. I don't believe you know Mr. Spelvin, Your Honor. Mr. Spelvin, this is Mayor Latrivia.
Yeah, I had a dog once. Oh, excuse me. I'm glad to meet you, Your Honor.
How do you do? Are you a resident of our fair city, Mr. Spelman?
No, he don't vote here, Latrivia, so you can let go of his hand now.
Mr. Spelvin represents the governor, Mr. Mayor.
Oh, he does? Well. I see where Mr. Spelman and I can spend a profitable few minutes together. We can
Have a cup of coffee, Mr. Mayor?
Thank you, and an egg sandwich. I just stopped in to tell you, McGee, that a complaint has reached my ears.
I had the same thing last summer, Latrivia. Started in my neck and reached my ears in 2 days. The doctor says it was just a
Mr. McGee, please. I was about to say that I have received a complaint from the street commissioner that you have been remiss in the matter of snow removal from your front sidewalk.
Oh, well, thanks for warning me, Latrivia. It's a funny thing, too. I really enjoy shoveling snow.
You do?
You do?
I surely do. I'd rather hear the frosty clang of a snow shovel on a sidewalk than the finest symphony music in the world. To feel the red blood coursing through my veins as I swing that shovel to and fro. That marvelous glow that comes from exercising in the cold winter air. The sharp tang of the wind on my cheeks as my muscles respond to the healthy rhythm. And what an appetite I get. Sleep like a baby. Oh, I love the feeling of it.
Hold it, McGee. Where are you going, Mr. Mayor?
I'm going to shovel your walk out for you. I haven't felt like that in years. There's the snow shovel.
Snow shovel's right in here, Latrivia.
Where, McGee?
Right here in the hall closet. Got to straighten out that closet one of these days.
The King's Men sing Gay Ranchero.
A gay ranchero, a caballero, and always find someone to pet. A senorita, a sweet capita, her other love will soon forget. If she's insistent, and she's not distant, the senorita will confess. A gay ranchero, a caballero, he'd only ask and she'll say yes. Soon there'll be a fiesta with a blushing bride, and the gay ranchero standing by her side. He'll be so excited on his wedding day. Ask him if he loves her and you'll hear him say, Si, si, tu amor, la señorita hermosita, estrellita. Si, si, tu amor, cuando le doy todo mi amor, floracita del corazón. Oh, look at Pancho, back on his rancho, with his petita by his side. She thinks he's handsome, worth any ransom. To him she's still a blushing bride. The gay ranchero, so very happy is he. The caballero, so very happy is he. And all the world knows how they met. little secret that I must unfold. For they found the promise that they had in store. Now they're really counting those good times just by the score. And maybe more.
Hey, everybody.
Yes, Mr. McGee?
Look, I think the storm's letting up a little.
Yeah, so if any of you want to get home before you really get to
Oh, I don't want to go home, Molly. I'm having fun. So am I, Mrs. McGee, and I can talk to your husband later.
Won't you join us, my dear, when you get through making the sandwiches?
He wasn't making any sandwiches.
Oh,
He wants some hotness.
No, but I will. I guess Bonnie McGee can take a hint without being hit in the face with a wet bathing
It's
suit.
just a decoration for the kitchen room.
Well, I'll join you guys here. What's the plan?
we're playing Thinky Dinky.
What on earth are thinking?
Well, look, it's my turn. I'll show you. All right. I'm thinking of a contented insect in an auto roll.
I knew. A snug bug in a tug rug. Now, your turn, Mr. Selden.
All right. Now, what's a wide-awake quintet in a juke joint?
Oh, that's easy. A live five and a jive dive.
Oh, this game is a cinch. Let me try it.
Oh, do, Mr. McGee, go ahead.
Okay. I'm thinking of a tired Indian in a borrowed teepee. Give up? A spent gent and a lent tent.
Oh, hey, you didn't give us time to guess, Fibber.
Ah, you wouldn't have done it anyway. Go ahead, Molly. It's your turn.
All right. I'm thinking of a hand-painted spark plug dancing with a red-haired kangaroo on a Wednesday afternoon.
Good heavens, I can't think what that would be.
Neither can I, so I'll go out and make some sandwiches. Go ahead, have fun. Oh, dear, go see who that is, McGee. It may need extra food and more coffee.
Okay, excuse me, folks. Oh, sure. I'll find out pretty soon what's going
Hello, Mr. McGee. My goodness, isn't it a terrible night out?
Yeah.
Not that any night out is very terrible to me, though, because, you had company.
Oh, come on in anyway. Hey, folks, here's Wallace Wimple.
Hello, Mr. Wimple. I don't think Mr. Wimple knows Mr. Spelman. Mr. Spelman, Mr. Wimple.
Good evening, Mr. Wimple.
Nothing of the kind, Mr. Spelman. It's a horrible evening. I'd never burst out of the house if I hadn't run out of cigarettes.
Oh, you don't have to go clear to the cigar store, Wimp. I'll give you a couple of packages. What do you smoke?
Cubes.
I didn't know your wife had let you smoke, Mr. Wimple.
Well, she doesn't really approve, Mrs. McGee. Not cigarettes, anyway. So she promised me a pipe last Christmas.
Briar, Wallace?
No, Mr. Wilcox. Lead. She promised she'd let me have it if she ever caught me smoking again. You see, Sweetie Face is my wife, Mrs. Selden.
I see.
Sweetie Face is simply obsessed with health fare. Why, sometimes for dinner, we just have a heaping plate of spinach apiece.
Just spinach, Wimp?
Just spinach. I pretend I don't know she has a filet mignon under hers. And later I run out and get a nutty burger.
Don't you ever protest against such inhuman treatment, Mr. Wimple?
Oh, of course I have, Mrs. Upington. Why, just last Saturday I said to her, Sweetie Face, I said, I'd like to have a little more freedom. And she said, why, Wallace, dear, how can you say that? Why, you're as free as a bird.
She did, really.
Yes, and then she said, in fact, I bet you can fly. And she threw me out the window.
Your wife sounds like quite a character, Mr. Sweetie Face.
Wimple, Spelman. His wife's name is Sweetie.
Oh, excuse me.
Well, I wouldn't want anyone to misunderstand me. Sweetie Face is really a delightful person when you really get to know her. She says. Well, I must be running along, folks. It's nice to see all of you.
You sure you can't stay a while and play some games, Mr. Wimple?
Well, if I do it, I'll get one anyway. I'll stay.
Yeah, then. Now, let's all play games again. Now, hold us the
Hey, just a minute, folks, just a minute.
What's the matter, McGee?
Well, you're welcome to stay all night and play all the games you want, but Mr. Spellman come here tonight with a message from the governor. I don't want to wait any longer to hear what it is.
Well, we'll go in the other room, Fibber. Let's talk.
No. Now, we want you all to hear it, don't we, McGee?
Huh? Do we?
Why, of course we do. I'm proud of it.
Oh, well, I guess we do at that. All you people thought I was kind of unimportant around here, didn't you? Thought I'd never amount to anything. Well, there's going to be a few opinions changed around here tonight. Go ahead, Spellman, old man.
All right, Mr. McGee. Do you realize that your tires wear out twice as fast at 45 miles per hour as they do at 30?
Why, certainly, we know all of that, but what is
Their
that?
driving habits are hard to control. So what's the best answer? An automatic control. Therefore...
Hey, what's all this got to do with giving Fibber a state job?
Yes, why does the governor need our car?
But that's what I've been getting at. It isn't so much that the governor needs your car as it is that your car needs the governor.
Hey, what is this, Bud? Who do you represent?
Well, you never let me quite explain that, Mr. McGee. I represent the Governor and Carburetor Corporation of New Jersey.
When you step into some homes, don't they seem to be more livable and friendly than others? Aglow with warm hospitality? A wax-protected home is usually a warm, friendly one. Floors that shimmer and gleam with a rich Johnson's wax polish add beauty to the entire home. They are protected, too, against wear and dirt, actual money-saving protection, and they're so much easier to keep clean. But this Johnson's wax protection and labor saving doesn't stop with floors. Wax your tabletop, chair arms, woodwork also, and your windowsills, Venetian blinds, shelves, refrigerators, shoes, luggage, lampshades. Then you'll be practicing what authorities call protective housekeeping. Right now and during the next year or so, it's important to take extra good care of your things. Give them an occasional application of genuine Johnson's wax, which you can buy now in 3 forms: paste, liquid, and the new cream wax especially formulated for furniture and woodwork. Oh, by the way, Johnson's wax is great, too, for Army boots and leather service equipment.
Ladies and gentlemen, this country has a big job ahead of it and won't stop till it's done. We've got to get in there with our money and our work and our loyal 100% support.
Yes, Uncle Sam has rolled up his sleeves, and now what he needs is more sleep.
So let's give him our shirt. Good night.
Good night, all.
The Johnson Wax Program with Fibber McGee and Molly. The makers of Johnson's Wax and Johnson's Self-Polishing Glow Coat present Fibber McGee and Molly, written by Don Quinn, with songs by the King's Men and music by Billy Mills. The show opens with I Love Louisa. other night I was talking with a man who had just had the floors at his house completely refinished. In fact, he had just paid the bill. This time, we're going to take care of our floors, he told me. We're taking your advice about protecting them regularly with Johnson's wax. Well, that's advice I give very freely on this program, and you're all welcome to accept it and save yourself expensive refinishing charges. It's really remarkable how much punishment floors will stand when they're given an occasional coat of genuine Johnson's wax. Besides the money-saving protection, Johnson's wax offers two other major advantages. First, the glowing beauty it gives to all floors, furniture, and woodwork. And second, the way it saves you work all during the year. Be sure, however, that you get the original and genuine Johnson's wax, available in paste, liquid, or cream wax form. When house cleaning time comes, a husband does one of two things. One, he goes away someplace. Two, he hangs around and gets in the way. The guy living at 79 Wistful Vista is type number 2, as you'll see when we join Fibber McGee and Molly.
Now, McGee, if you're not going to be any more help than this, I wish you'd take the afternoon off. Go to a movie or something.
I might call Billy Mills and go bowling.
Well, why don't you?
I can't. Billy hates bowling.
Well, why don't you go down to the cigar store? You and the other hangers-on down there haven't settled the world situation for a long time.
Those mugs don't know what it's all about. They're too fat to fight and too wise to know anything and too dumb to catch on when I try to explain things to them.
You being the authority, I suppose.
Why not? I read the papers and study military tactics. All them drips do is stand around moaning about their tires.
Say, this tire shortage is certainly going to put the country back on its feet again.
I know the tire shortage right at the beginning of the war.
I don't care. I like to walk. Remember last summer, Molly, when I was always planning to pack a lunch and get up early on some Sunday morning and take a long hike out into the country?
Well, I remember you planning it, but you never went.
Yeah. Well, I hate to go away and miss reading the Sunday paper.
Well, you could have taken the Sunday paper with you.
Oh, yeah? I know a guy that carried a Sunday paper 2 miles once. He's been bow-legged ever since.
Well, now, if you're not going to help me with this house cleaning, I wish you'd go out someplace.
Okay.
But now, listen. Comb your hair first.
I just did.
What'd you part it with, a corkscrew?
I'm just different than most good-looking guys, Molly. Instead of curly hair and a straight part, I got straight hair and a curly part. No kidding, Molly. I don't... What's the matter? Hurt your hand?
Oh,
Molly, what's the matter?
McGee, my ring. My engagement ring.
Huh?
It's gone.
Gone. Oh, my God. Hey, maybe you took it off to wash your hands.
I never take it off. Oh, dear. My beautiful engagement ring. It'll break my heart if I lose that now.
Well, where did you see it last?
Right here on my left hand. Oh, dear, if I only...
No, I mean, where were you?
I had it this morning, and I hadn't been out of the house. Now, let me see. First, I built a fire here in the fireplace.
Well, maybe you dropped it in the fireplace.
Oh, heavenly days. Scrape the ashes all out and sift them, McGee. I look upstairs, and then you get the vacuum cleaner and we... Oh, dear.
Come in.
Oh, hello, Mrs. Uppington.
How do you do, my dear? Hey, Mr. McGee.
Hi, Uppy. Now, watch where you plant those big... watch where you step, Uppy. We lost a diamond ring around here someplace.
My engagement ring, Abigail.
It's missing. Oh, how terrible, my dear. And it was such a dainty little diamond, too.
Well, I tell you, it isn't the ring so much as it is the sentiment, Abigail. I remember the night McGee gave it to me, just like it was yesterday. There he was, kneeling in front of the...
Oh, never mind that. Uppy ain't interested in how...
Oh, but I am, Mr. McGee. Oh, it's simply too romantic. Tell me, my dear, after he put the ring on your finger, did he kiss your hand?
Oh, sure.
I think he was going to, Abigail, but before he had a chance, my father came in with a glass of elderberry wine for each of us and said, "Congratulations, children."
Grand old man, too, your father. Must have waited outside that door for 2 hours and never spilled a drop.
I hope you were married right away, my dear. I never did believe in long engagements.
Neither did McGee. Particularly after we went into vaudeville. You know, we never played the theater more than 3 days.
Oh, good heavens. Were you in the theater?
Oh, why, sure.
Oh, how utterly fascinating. I was an actress once. Nathan.
Oh, Whoopee. I remember you. Didn't you used to have an iron jaw act? Swinging on a rope by your teeth and waving a little American flag?
Now, please, Miss McGee, I was never in vaudeville. I played only Shakespearean roles. Juliet, you know.
Oh, we played Joliet, too. Sure, Joliet, and then we went to Kankakee and Decatur.
No. Not Joliet. Juliet, my dear. Oh, what fun. My leading man fell in love with me. Oh, poor dear P. Jarvis.
P. Jarvis?
Yes, his name was John P. Jarvis, but I always called him P. Jarvis.
That was cute. Well, whatever happened, I don't like to be nosy, Upsy, but...
He went away to make his fortune, but I've never seen him since.
Well, didn't he leave any message when he left, Abigail?
Yes, he left a note saying that someday he would return, and when he did, good heavens. I wonder.
You wonder what?
He said that some night he would return and toss a pebble at my window.
Oh, my.
Do you suppose? Oh, but it couldn't. But still, may I must have this investigated at once? Goodbye.
So was that yesterday that I got again?
Well, if it was him that came back and threw a rock through her window, that lets you out, McGee.
It lets me out of more than that.
What do you mean?
I mean this diamond ring of yours. I've been afraid. I am afraid. Maybe I walked in my sleep again. And are you sure you had it on this morning?
Yes, I am.
Oh, that's a load off my mind. I was afraid I'd got up in the night, swiped your rock, and heaped it through somebody's window. Oh, come on, let's fit the action. Get the vacuum cleaner, Molly. We'll get this house to going over like it never has. Here, take my coat.
Where on earth have you been, McGee, and how'd you get so dirty?
I've been looking for your diamond ring. I sifted all the ashes out of the fireplace and dumped them in the alley, a grain at a time. Boy, that stuff sure makes you cough.
Well, why didn't you tie a handkerchief over your nose?
I did. Then I had to breathe through my mouth. And that's what made me cough. But your ring wasn't there.
Well, I tell you, it's around someplace. Nothing is really lost till you quit looking for it, you know.
Is that true?
Certainly. Why?
And I lost a couple of kneecaps. Since I started putting on weight, I quit looking for them. Oh, boy, am I tired.
Well, I certainly appreciate your help, dearie. Now, listen, you take it easy and let me finish the house cleaning. I'll find my ring somewhere.
No, sir. I'm going to turn this house upside down and shake it if I have to. Hand me that carpet sweeper.
All right, darling. Here. And keep a sharp eye out in the corners along the baseboard.
Yeah.
Heavenly days, my left hand feels positively indecent without that ring on it.
Mm-hmm. I know how you feel, Molly. I lost my wristwatch once. And every time anybody'd look at my naked wrist, I'd blush clear up to my elbow.
Listen, dearie, be sure to look under the edges of the rugs, won't
Don't worry. Old Eagle Eye McGee is on the job. We'll get it. Oh, I wonder who that could be.
Look out the window.
Huh?
Is there an armored delivery truck out there?
No.
Well, then it can't be the grocery man with my 2 pounds of sugar. Come in.
Good day, Mrs. McGee. Hello, McGee.
Oh, hi, Trivia. What you all bundled up in the first half of mittens for?
I regret to say that I neglected my business affairs today and yielded to the temptation to go out with a small party of friends. We have been boob sledding.
No. You mean bobsledding.
With the frantic little group of sportsmen I was with, Mrs. McGee, it is boob sledding. They are imbued with the peculiar idea that to see how close one can steer a sled to a moving streetcar is the height of hilarity.
Well, it is kind of fun at that, Trivia.
Yes, I imagine it would appeal to you too, McGee. You're the type that rocks rowboats and wears ladies' hats at parties.
Why, he does not. He always wears a lampshade.
Get a much bigger laugh with a lampshade, Trivia. That killed him.
Thank you. I shall try to remember that the next time. But am I intruding? Were you cleaning house, Mrs. McGee?
Well, yes. And then I lost my diamond engagement ring, Mr. Mayor. So we know it's around here someplace.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you mind if I take a look around?
I'll be glad to have you, Latriv. Go ahead.
Well, I don't see it anywhere.
You couldn't have found a flat car and a phone booth in that length of time.
My eyesight is very penetrating, McGee.
Oh.
In fact, I was quite a student of mesmerism at one time.
What's mesmerism?
Mesmerism. Hypnotism. Like this. Look me in the eye, McGee.
Which one?
Either one.
Oh.
Now relax. You're slowly coming under my thumb. You have no will of your own.
I've been telling him that for years, and I know hypnotism.
McGee. All right, McGee. When I snap my fingers, you are completely subject to my orders. There. You see, Mrs. McGee? His mind is a blank. Look at that glassy stare.
That's the way he always looks when he does crossword puzzles. Isn't it, McGee? Isn't it, McGee? McGee? Well, heavenly days, he is hypnotized.
Of course he is. Watch this. McGee, you are an Airedale. A big, brown Airedale. Speak.
Isn't that wonderful? Look at him trying to wag his tail.
No. Get down. Stop jumping up on me. Down, doggy, down. Ow! He bit me in the leg. Let me out of here.
Well, aren't you going down hypnotizing
Oh,
first?
you'll come out of it shortly. I don't want to see you. Get away from me. You brute.
Boy, I sure fooled him, didn't I, Molly?
You fooled me, too. I was about to call the drugstore for some flea powder.
Well, I had to get rid of that guy some way so I could get back to work. Some act, huh?
It was wonderful. It was so realistic. McGee, pull in your tongue and stop that panting.
No, I can't help it. I'm tired. This carpet sweeper works awful hard.
Well, use the vacuum.
Okay, plug in the cord, will you?
All right.
Thanks.
What's the matter now?